Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. Let's continue the JavaScript and CSS tips and tricks tutorial series. Now in this video tutorial I will explain how to pass the selected rows from a table from one table to another table. I want to pass the selected rows from one table to another table using a JavaScript and CSS. So let's start the tutorial. And here we got the final output of our application. Notice the selected rows from HTML table. This is the first one HTML table and pass the second HTML table using JavaScript and CSS. The second table is empty, that's why it's hidden. If I select Lalita and Charan, two columns I have selected from the first table. Now if I select show selected rows, see here we got Charan and Lalita. Two tables is displaying in the second table. Now if I want to select all, show selected rows, see it's got all the rows which is selected. Now I don't want to display the rows, so I have unselected all the rows. If I show selected rows, it's empty again. If I select Vijay, Lalita and Charan, I have selected 3 rows from the table 1. If I select show selected rows button control, here we got only the selected rows is displayed from one table to another table. For this video tutorial, I am using Visual Studio Code. First, let's open our folder, which is the JavaScript-tutorials. And here it is, our folder is added to the VS Explorer. Let me expand this folder. Now, inside this folder, I am creating pass, the HTML file called pass selected rows.htm, and here we got the newly created HTML file is open. Now the next step, I am minimizing this Explorer as well as I am closing this welcome page. Now let's write the coding part. First let's add the doc type HTML. I am closing the HTML element, and inside this HTML element I am adding the header section. Below the header section I am adding the body tag. Now inside this body I am adding center element. I am adding h1 selected rows from an HTML table pass to the second HTML table using JavaScript and CSS. After that, I am adding one horizontal line. After the horizontal line, I am adding one table. This is the first table I am adding. This table contains table head, tr, table row, th. Inside this th, I am adding first input element because I want to select a particular rows to transfer from one table to another table. So I require a checkbox. So input type is equals to checkbox and id is equals to header checkbox. This is the header checkbox. So it will select all the columns, all the rows, and I need to change on change event. This on change event toggle checkbox. Let's add this is the toggle checkboxes. All the checkboxes it will select. Now th. Let's close this one. After th, now I am adding another columns. Th. First one is the name. Second th is the age. And third table header is the occupation. I am adding the occupation. That's it. Just for the demo purpose, I have added 4 columns in the first table, which contains the first column is a checkbox, second column is a name, and the third column is the age, and the fourth column is occupation. Now we require some the data of these columns, so we require the rows. So after the t head, I am adding t body, tr, td. Now here in this td I am adding input type is equals to checkbox. Let's close this TD. Let's go checkbox. Yeah, I have already closed it. So again, next TD, and this one like this. The next TD, what is this next TD? Name. What is name? I'm adding my name, Charan, and the age is 32, and TD occupation is a programmer. Now let's add some more data. Copy this one, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So next one, instead of Charan, I'm adding Mark. Age is around 28. He is a HR. The third one is Lalita. Age is around 32. This is a HR. Now Ben. Age is around 35. Occupation is the marketing. Sales representative. Let's have the sales representative. Yep, sales rep. And this is Ben. Let's add here instead of Ben 32. Let's leave it programmer only. Yeah. Now here the last one I'm adding Vijay. Vijay is around 25. Occupation is a sales boy. That's it. Just for the demo purpose, I have added few columns here, few rows to this table. Next, we require the second table. Before that, I'm adding one button control. So HR button control, horizontal line. Again, one more horizontal line. Now between this horizontal line, I'm adding one button control. Button, which is an on-click event. The event name is, which is a JavaScript function. Selected rows. The button name is a showSelectedRows. That's it. We don't require anything here. Now I require another table to print the selected rows from the first table. So I'm adding another table which contains ID is equals to, I require this ID, selected table, which is a second table, and class is first. I don't want to display this table first. And I'm not adding any rows because we are getting dynamically from this first table. So, and what else we require? That's it, I think so. Now I'm adding script function. First I'm adding all checkboxes. Let's copy this one. This is a function name. I'm adding function toggle checkboxes. Then I'm defining one constant variable checkboxes is equals to document.querySelectorAll. First I'm selecting all the checkboxes which contains in the header column. Input type is equals to, the element type is checkbox. Here I'm adding double quotes, checkbox is the element name. Then constant header checkbox is equals to document.querySelector. Now querySelector here what I am selecting in the table header, this is I'm selecting header checkbox. So we need to add hash because it's a ID. It's an ID. So I have added the hash. Now checkboxes dot for each function checkbox. From this checkbox I'm adding checkbox.check checked is equals to header checkbox.checked. Yeah, that's it. Now we need to terminate this function with a semicolon for each function. Now what? Now the button control event is there. No, this is a button control showSelectedRows function. So let's copy this one, this event, this function event, which is our function name, function showSelected function show constant. Let's add the constant checkboxes. Checkboxes is equals to document dot query selector all. Query selector all. The same thing what I'm adding here, I'm adding here only in this function also. So let's copy that one. Checkboxes document dot query selector all. Then constant. Now selected table, which is a variable. The selected table is document dot query selector. Now here the table ID, which is the second table ID, which is the second selected table. Let's copy this one. This is the ID. So again we need to add hash select table, selected table, just like what we had here, the header checkbox ID. Here the same thing. Then the coding is a selected table dot inner HTML is equals to, I'm clearing the existing table first. So here checkboxes dot for each function checkbox if condition, if checkbox dot check, checkbox dot check, the if condition, just we need to close this function because this function is for each loop. Check. Now what we require, we need to select the rows of the table. So I'm defining one more variable called constant row. Checkbox dot parent node, again parent node, clone node, I'm adding the clone node is true. That's it. Yeah, it's clone node only because I'm selecting the duplicate copy, which is a clone, true. Then I need to hide the row, append the row, append the row. So here only selected table, this selected table I want to append the selected checkbox row. I want to append that row in this selected table, which is a second table. So second table, which is a variable here, dot append child row, the selected row I am appending in the selected table. That's it. Now what we require, now first I need to hidden this table. So here, if you check here, this class is hidden. So once we got the rows in the second table, I want to show. So show means I want to remove the hidden. So selected table dot class list dot remove hidden. That's it. Yeah, that's it. This is a JavaScript functionality, almost the same code, but we are selecting here instead of all rows, I'm selecting particular rows. Now we require some styles here. Let's add some style. And style body. First I'm adding the body BG background color. Let's add some background color. And after that, let's add the table border collapse. Border collapse on border collapse is collapse. Then width is 100%. Width is 100%. I'm adding, so full screen. Text align. If you want, you can adjust the width and height of the table, but for the demo purpose, I'm adding the full screen width. And the table headers TH and TD also I'm adding. TH and TD border 1 pixel solid, and I'm adding black color. So because it's here, I'm adding some light color. We'll add black color. Then padding also. Let's add the padding is 8 pixels. Text align center. Now table headers, I want to add the background color and which I'm adding some brown. Let's change this color to orange. Here also we got the same color, no? So we some light green color. We'll add the background color. Now here in the background color, now font size. Table header font size is large, and font weight is bold. Now here the condition, first when page loads, I want to hide the second table until we get any selected rows from the first table to display in the second table. It will hide the second table. So hidden is a class name. This is a hidden. I'm adding here the class name is, that's why I have added the dot. Display none. What happened here? Not here. It's a script. We require the style. Now the button control. We have a button control. What is a button control? We'll add the element only because we have only one button control. So button element. Background, I'm adding multiple colors. Linear gradient is let's add the green, black, and again I'm adding green. Let's add some red color, orange color. Why I'm choosing always orange? Let's add the blue one. And color is white. If any modifications, will come back and change here. I'm adding roughly the background colors and text colors. Font size is large and font weight is bold. And what else we got? Text align is center. Border radius also I'm adding 10 pixels. That's it. We have done the coding part. We got the styles of the CSS styles, JavaScript, and we got 2 tables with a checkbox control. Now let's save this file fast. Save. We'll check the final output of our application. For that, we need to open the file explorer. Let's open that one. The folder I have created in the E drive, the folder name is a JavaScript tutorials, and the file name is, what is the file name? Selected rows. Let's check that one. pass selected rows. This is the file name. Let's open that one. And here we got the final output of our application. Notice the selected rows from HTML table, pass the second HTML table. Now this is the colors I have added. So instead of pista color, so let's check the functionality. Notice here the first column we got the checkboxes. After that we got name, age and occupations. We have 3 columns and I have added some rows here. Now I am selecting mark here. When I click show selected rows, see here we got here. I don't want this checkbox. Why it's coming here? If I selected all and I click, I'm getting all here. If I unselect, it's disappear. Now let's remove this selected this checkbox. So switch over to our coding part, come to the bottom and the JavaScript show selected rows, which is the second table, and here the if condition, if checkbox is checked, I have created the clone of the first table. Before append the child, we need to delete that cell. So the row delete cell function, which is the 0 index of 0. Notice here the index of 0. Again I will show you. See, it takes delete cell takes the index number. The index starts with 0. 0 is the first cell, first column, which contains our checkboxes. That's it. Now everything is good. Now instead of this color, I am adding light, very light green. Now let's save this file. We'll check the output again. Save. I'm reloading the browser. And here we got the final output of our application. Notice the selected rows from HTML table. This is the first one HTML table and pass the second HTML table using JavaScript and CSS. The second table is empty, that's why it's hidden. If I select Lalita and Charan, 2 columns I have selected from the first table. Now if I select show selected rows, see here we got Charan and Lalita. 2 tables is displaying in the second table. Now if I want to select all, show selected rows, see it's got all the rows which is selected. Now I don't want to display the rows, so I have unselected all the rows. If I show selected rows, it's empty again. If I select Vijay, Lalita and Charan, I have selected 3 rows from the table 1. If I select show selected rows button control, here we got only the selected rows is displayed from one table to another table. That's it. In this video tutorial, I have explained how to transfer or pass the selected rows from one HTML table to another HTML table using a JavaScript and CSS styles. Thanks for watching this video tutorial. Please subscribe, share and leave your valuable comment. We'll catch you in my next video tutorial.